I really wanted to like The Christmas Train, but unfortunately, I found it to be a real disappointment, and I don't understand why there are so many very, very positive reviews, each to their own, of course, but I'm struggling to see it from that perspective. This was released in 2017, it's directed by Ron Oliver, and it's about various different characters who are all on this Christmas train. And they're all embarking on a really long journey, so they spend a lot of time together, and it's all about different people coming together, and certain characters actually coincidentally have a bit of a history, and it's all about reconnecting. And honestly, I feel like on the one hand, there's too much going on. There are too many characters that I never really felt like I could connect with any one character or any couple. But at the same time, despite the fact that there's too much going on, nothing happens and it's really dull. And the film tried to make it interesting because obviously the train will stop every now and then and people can get off and they have a couple of hours to explore wherever they are, and we get some lovely Christmas sights and Christmas carols. That's definitely very well done, and they definitely made an effort to give us scenes outside of the train to try and keep things interesting, but it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough to make this fascinating because still nothing happens. It's definitely driven by the characters, and not only did I not feel able to connect with any of the characters, but I found the characters to be really dull and really boring. Not unlikable as such. I didn't dislike anybody, but I didn't care. I found them to be really boring. So there's no real narrative. I mean, there is a narrative, but there's nothing interesting in the narrative. So that means we rely on the characters, and the characters are boring. So it doesn't really offer anything. The only things I guess it does offer is a decent amount of Christmas. It does have a warm, fuzzy Christmas feel, and the train. The train is beautiful. I think whenever we're inside the train, I think they made a great use of the space. And that part of it, I think, again, they did really well. But unfortunately, after a while, you do get a bit fed up of the same environment, which, as I said, they did make an effort to try and help with by stopping the train and letting people get out. And they did make an effort, but unfortunately, it wasn't enough to save the film. And then something happens. Something is revealed towards the end of the film, and I won't say what it is, I won't spoil it, but I will say ultimately it ruined the entire narrative. And maybe I'll discuss what I mean by that in a moment with a spoiler warning, but whatever redeeming qualities it did have, it completely got ruined towards the end. So it's actually a pretty bad narrative. If you stop watching it, maybe 10 minutes before the end, maybe not even 10 minutes, maybe 5 minutes before the end, it might be a very mediocre film. But if you keep watching, I think it's not going to work out very well at all. Would I recommend it? I don't know. If you like trains, maybe. I love trains. I know a lot of people love trains. So that part of it did appeal. But if you're looking for a good narrative, I'd say no. If you're looking for interesting characters, I'd say no. The performances are fine. We have a good cast. We have Danny Glover, Kimberly Williams-Paisley, Dermot Mulroney, Joan Cusack, a whole bunch of other really talented actors. So nothing wrong with performances. It's just the characters are all really boring and the narrative is dull. There's a nice amount of Christmas in it. And the train setting is really nice. But other than that, it's not good. So, I will explain now what I mean about the ending with a spoiler warning. I won't go into exactly what happens, but this is still technically a bit of a spoiler. So at the end, we find out something that basically removes the fact that people from all walks of life can coincidentally come together, and basically, if you believe in fate or destiny and you think that the universe will bring all of these people together in the right place at the right time, that's a beautiful, magical Christmas thing that happens. And this film goes, no, that's not what's happening. This was forced. This was fabricated. This isn't Christmas magic. And it just ruined the one redeeming quality, this magical concept that fate brings the right people together at the right time. And it just kind of said, no, Christmas magic isn't real. This is all fake. And it was just a really rubbish, terrible, stupid decision that ruined, as I said, the one potentially good part of the overarching narrative. So it's not a bad film. Badly written, badly executed, and I don't recommend it. I've decided I don't recommend it. It is based on a novel written by David Baldacci. I've never read the novel. If the novel has the same ending, then I would be very frustrated at reading that book. I can't recommend The Christmas Train unless perhaps you really love trains or you're a fan of somebody in the cast and there's a particular reason why you want to see it. Because, as I said, it's not necessarily a bad film apart from decisions at the end. It's just not good. So, if there's a specific thing that's drawn you to it, maybe check it out. But if you're just looking for a good film, I can't recommend it.